Remember GamerGhazi? I certainly do, although I'm sure most other people don't. But they're complaining about JonTron releasing an official statement, not the fact that he released it, but what was in it. A dubious rat says, a few hours ago, JonTron released a statement on the shitstorm he's been causing. Not... He's the reason that you wrote all those articles. Not that they want to write those articles. It's that he wants them to do it. And he causes it by saying things they don't like. This is how victim blaming works. It's pretty much what you'd expect, mostly complaining about tribalism and accusing people/the media of misinterpreting things he said in the heat of the moment. He also goes into the all racism is bad, what a monster, that's how you know he's a racist, and I see people as Americans and not racist. Checkmate, JonTron. You don't see Congolese people as Americans, do you? Therefore, racism. Checkmate. Deflections to avoid actually addressing anything he said. It's frustrating to watch because the tone of his voice and the words he is actually saying give two completely different impressions. I think he feels that if he just talks in a relatable, matter-of-fact tone, blames others for his actions, and avoids taking any real responsibility for what he's been saying up until this point, all will be forgiven. Do you think we should hold him accountable? What are we holding him accountable for? JonTron, you said things that we disagree with. How do you plead? His Twitter following seems to be on his side, but I really hope most of his fans don't fall for this. fall for him clarifying his position. If his subreddit is any indication, it looks like they're smarter than that. Also note, it's an unlisted video he's sharing on social media, which probably explains why he doesn't have as many dislikes as expected. The comments. I see people as Americans not by race, which is why I specifically ranted about the wealthy black people for some fucking reason, probably. Well, I mean, it's because he had an article on the Washington Post saying that wealthy black people are more likely to go to jail than poor white people. Now, hey, I'm not saying that's because America isn't still basically under Jim Crow, and obviously every single person involved in the criminal justice system is a tremendous racist. But the question really is, why did all those people end up in jail for committing a crime? He simply doubles down and does not address the real crux of the issue, namely his fake crime stat. Actually, the stat was true, it was from the Washington Post, but it was his interpretation that was the question. Black genetics? I don't think he actually addressed black genetics. The dilution of the white gene pool. Well, I mean, that's simply true. If you bring in non-white people, the gene pool will inevitably get diluted. But, I mean, he's a mixed race immigrant himself, and, I mean, he's like, I'm from Hungary, therefore I'm white. But not European, are you, Aryan? Just kidding, John, if you watch this, I love you, man. Comparing immigration to genocide, invasion, etc. Did he compare it to genocide? I don't think he used the term genocide. You know, for once I thought YouTubers would do the right thing and condemn such obvious racist rhetoric. Well, they don't condemn your racist rhetoric either, so, you know, shrug. But we got the same boogie both sides video. We got the usual hand-waving from TB and total indifference from the skeptic community. Actually, I think they're behind him. I guess my expectations were too high. Well, you hate all of these people. Why would you give a shit? Why would you you liar? You don't have expectations. You hate these people. Silly me for wanting my humanity to be defended. At no point did JonTron say non-white people are not human. In fact, the very premise of what he's saying is in the dilution of genes, race mixing, is predicated on the idea that you have to be human, because I know I don't want to go into sort of like advanced biology here, but it requires two, a male and a female, triggered, from the same species to mate to produce a baby. Just a bit of information for you that you clearly didn't have. At this point, I'm pretty much done with interacting via games and YouTube. Okay? I'm going to make my world as small as possible and just keep living. Are you sure? I hear there's a genocide on the horizon. YouTubers and gamers have made explicitly clear that black people have no value as their audience or peers. This has got 59 points upvote. This is the world they live in. Jesus. You can call us inherently savage, but God forbid BuzzFeed criticizes white people /s. Well, if you didn't put the /s on there, I wouldn't have known. The media is bad. Yes, how dare the media report on the exact words people say and write them out exactly as they were said. Yes, but again, the context is important. If he's bumbling through a debate that he's very bad at, and he's trying to articulate points that he hasn't clearly thought through, then yes, if you report exactly that and only that, the context will be removed and the true intention of his statements will be obscured. But hey, don't you worry about that. Ethics overwhelming. You're too ethical to worry about context. Or the fake apology, when you know you shitted up in public eyes and you have to say sorry despite believing you did the right thing. I like the shill for thrills. He didn't even say sorry. No, he did not. So it's a half-assed fake apology. No, it's not even that. No, it's not even that. They never do, which is the worst part. It was a smug doubling down on his nationalist race realism. Don't think he actually did double down on nationalistic race realism. These people have young kids as subscribers that look up to them. YouTube, etc. needs far more regulation, because won't someone think of the children? I see people as Americans, not races, except for fucking communists. Well, I'm sure that that's a play on communists, but that's not a race either. Or people. Or even human. Unsurprising that John is being a spineless coward and tries to deflect the blame to the media. Like I said in a previous thread about him, see, they've already got into this, he is far too deep into the racist rabbit hole to even bother with reason anymore. Oh yeah, you guys are all about reason, aren't you? The best people can do is call him out on his bullshit and not let him feel good for getting away with this. Getting away with this. Like, John's opinions are now crime. These are, in fact, thought crimes. This is wrongthink. Won't someone call the party and get him sent to room 101? He's going to get away with everything, isn't he? Not surprised. Exactly. He's going to get away for speaking. He's going to get away with it. He's going to do it brazenly, and no one's going to punish him for speaking. There will be no criminal charges filed. It will literally just be JonTron speaks, and then the world carries on turning. Guy with the last name Jafari foolishly thinks that emboldening white supremacists will somehow save him from white supremacy. Well, the white supremacy hasn't killed him yet, and his middle name is Aryan, so maybe. Didn't even apologise, just, oh, LOL, I was unprepared. It's really everyone else's fault for dissecting what I said so much. If he really believes the stuff he said in the debate, it was just said in the heat of the moment, why does he not apologise for that? You're the one who said that shit, John, not anyone else. I can tell you, Johnny Jinx, exactly why he doesn't apologise for that, because you people are fucking cancer and you can suck my dick. It's the same as saying black people ruined America by voting for Barack Obama. Well, I mean, I know that he's a giant racist and race realist and all, but JonTron voted for Obama too. Twice. I like to imagine a world where false equivalences do not exist anymore. Jesus, really? What the hell would you do then? I've named it Utopia because that's pretty much what it would be. Yes, dummy. It's like a world free of racism. It's called a utopia. Why is it always so fucking hard for these goddamn idiots to understand that you can't just replace the de facto dominant race, both historically and currently, in an equation and expect to have the same result? Did someone from the alt-right sneak onto GamerGhazi? On the bright side, last I heard of Destiny was him being a shitty, edgy fucker, full of libertarian nonsense and super funny rape jokes, quote unquote, because he probably rapes people in his spare time, even though he clearly doesn't have the upper body strength for that. Hearing him outline some pretty damn exactly how the government enforced white supremacy through Jim Crow, etc., as well as disproportionate policing and punishment was eerie. Yes, because if he was to apologise, wouldn't be enough, would it? Just wouldn't be enough. There's no apologising enough for you. This is one fake-ass apology. Probably because it's not an apology. There are a fair amount of comments that go, this isn't good enough, John, and still hold him accountable. Hold him accountable. John, you're accountable for having the wrong opinion. So there are people who do know him now as a scumbag rather than an affable, funny guy. Also, his example of the hypocrisy of insulting white people is comedian Samantha Bee. Do you not understand your own platform of everyone's become so sensitive, then you get offended by a comedian's political satire? How? You know what? Let's just ignore all the articles from various mainstream media sources. And I'm not even talking like hard left, SJW commie blogs. I'm talking about like, mainstream media, like the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, anyone. Name one and just search for white people. You'll find, in fact, just Seriously, just do it. You'll find hundreds of these fucking articles. But you know what? It's important to pick out the Samantha Bee thing, because she's a comedian, and not bandwagoning here at all. The douchebag got his facts from the Daily Stormer. What's that? The #1, what's her name? J.K. Rowling fan site. Yeah, I've heard of that. Not a fan of Harry Potter myself, though, so I don't go there. There's no amount of verbal or mental gymnastics that can outmaneuver that kind of glaring fuck-up, although you do seem kind of angry that he managed it. Ah, well. Must suck being as relevant as GamerGhazi, but I just had to come and have a look.